But I thought it would be kind of a neat idea. You always hear like people who like, oh man, if I could unplay Uncharted and start it again from the beginning, that would be like the greatest experience ever. I want to experience what that was like again. But I'm going to do a little flip the script on that. But like, if you guys could pick a game and unplay it, but never return to it, meaning the game was like almost a complete waste of your time, but maybe for some reason you stuck with it, or you played enough of it that you wish you just had never played it. Do you guys have a game like that stands out in your mind?
The only game that I could think of that even remotely fits this, because most games, I would say, even if I didn't like them, like the experience of playing it is not like, you know, it's something you can kind of bank for later, right? It's never one of those things that's so offensive. Like, I don't think anything is so offensive that I wish I'd never played it.
Yeah, there's gotta be though, right? Go ahead.
But the only game I can think of that is a game that I played that was such a profound disappointment to me that I wish that I hadn't, that I wish that I didn't spend money on it, was Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh.
Because so first of all, the first thing that happened was I bought it on Black Friday on disc for whatever amount of money. I don't remember what it was, probably $20 or something like that. I didn't play it for a few months because I had a bunch of other shit to play. I go to put it in and my disc was fucking corrupted. And this was apparently a big problem.
I remember this. You talked about it on the show when this happened.
Yeah. And so for the listeners, like just a quick recap, I bought this game, didn't play it for a few months, go to put it in my PlayStation. It installs the game and then it just doesn't recognize that I have the disc in. So I can't play the game. And I got a hold of EA and basically they were like, tough shit. It's been more than 90 days since you purchased the game. And I was like, well, that's fucking stupid. And then so I go and eventually I was just like, you know what? I really want to play a Mass Effect game. So I ended up buying it again on sale or something like that for like 10 or $15. And I played it for like 10 hours or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck is this game? Like, it's not like, you know, I'm thinking about Mass Effect 2 and 3 specifically. 1, you know, was fine, but I didn't really get on with it too well. And like how good those games were. And then like I go to play this and I'm like, this just it doesn't feel this like other than garbage. Like the fact that it's like, it was just, I'm like, why did I go through all of this shit, like buying and rebuying this game just to play something that is, you know, mediocre at best and just generally disappointing. So that I did have an example.
I actually have one now. I was looking at my phone what the title of it was. Josh, do you have one? That's a good one, Jake.
I want to ask a qualifying question.
Yeah.
Am I also removing, I guess by default the answer would be yes, but am I also removing, I guess, the memories that may have formed with other people as a result of playing this game?
That's a tough question. That's deep, man. I would just say, yeah, you're essentially just turning back the clock and getting that time back. So if you never played it.
So my first answer was going to be, the first thing that came to mind was Dota 2, because I have played I've probably spent more time in that game than you guys have played like your top 10 games combined.
That's insane.
So the amount of time I probably could have been spent doing either something productive or just experiencing like a ton of more games.
Yeah,
I think that would be great. But I also have a ton of good memories with my friends on that one. So that one I'm conflicted on.
Yeah.
So maybe the one I would say is my wife wanted to buy some nostalgia. She's a big fan of nostalgia games and like remakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there was a PS4 version of the Lion King game.
Oh man.
And so I bought it and played it for like an hour and I just want to undo that.
Just like that was just a waste of your life. Yeah.
It was like so much worse than I remembered it being. Like if I could just undo the PS4 version of the Lion King remake, because I forgot how bad that game was and now I remember and I would like to just forget it.
That's a really good answer. I do remember the Disney game for Aladdin being really good. Was that part of this or no?
It was they're both actually came. I have both of them. They came on the same disc.
Have you tried Aladdin?
So it's better, but it's still really effing hard.
Yeah, I remember it being really hard. There's like I remember there being apples
yeah.
and baskets and stuff, right? In Aladdin.
Yeah. It is a better game than the Lion King one.
Okay.
But it is still really hard, and I don't know. It's just it's one of those things where like old games are old, and maybe you should just just leave them be sometimes.
Yeah.
Is it the same one that we had on Super Nintendo? Lion King?
Yeah.
Or no.
Well,
Aladdin?
the Aladdin. Yeah. I don't think we had the Lion King one. I remember playing it at some point, but I don't know where or when I played it.
I think I had Aladdin on Genesis. It might have been Super Nintendo though.
I mean, they're probably the same game, just maybe ports. Although back then, like they could be completely different games if they were on different systems.
Yeah. All right. So my game's simple. It's a PlayStation 3 game, and I just have such disappointment with the game. Like my hopes were up, and
Warhammer Space Marine.
No. G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra.
Of course, it's a fucking G.I. Joe game.
But I'm so disappointed.
All terrible, and you want them to be good.
Yeah. So my expectations were just so decent for this game, and I still haven't played Operation Blackout, which is the PS4 game, which I hear also sucks, but it has to be better than the Rise of Cobra. So I just want to make a good G.I. Joe game. But yeah, I actually bought this game on eBay because I wanted the physical copy because I'm a collector. And I had never played it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play this game. And I got it on eBay for like $35, which is way overpriced because it was already like a year or two old. And I'm like, you know what? This is going to be half decent. I'm going to sit down and play it. And being a fan, I felt compelled to just play this game. And like I forced myself to play this game that just absolutely sucked because I wanted it to be good so badly. And I never finished it. I think I got like 3 or 4 levels in, and I could only put like an hour and a half into it. And I was like, this is just such a garbage game. Like, why do they let this shit happen? So that's my game. I would never go back to it. I don't even care to see it. I don't even care to have it in my collection. Like, it could just go to hell. It just really pisses me off. But yeah, G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra.
Just to be clear to the listeners, maybe if you haven't, if you're not like an OG PS This Is Awesome listener, I mentioned Warhammer Space Marine. Fred and I actually both really like that game.
It's a fantastic game.
It was like a